Welcome to the June 22nd, 2022 meeting of the Oakland Mayor and Council. Roll call.
Mayor Schwager.
Here.
Councilman Kamala.
Here.
Councilman McCann.
Present.
Councilman Pignatelli.
Here.
Councilman Saliani. Councilman Tilsinski.
Here.
Councilman Talamini.
Here.
Is there a motion?
Motion to excuse Councilman Saliani is at work.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
This meeting is being held in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Law duly announced, advertised, and posted in the municipal building. The meeting will adjourn at 10 p.m. unless the majority of the council members that are present vote to extend their time. At this time, I ask everyone to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for a moment of silence. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And during the moment of silence, we lost, I mentioned this at the last meeting, we lost a very, very reputable and respected and honored resident last month, Lee Lydecker, and you all remember him with the honeybees. And I think he was also president of the planning board for many years. And his memorial service is next week, and we wish his family the best, and may he rest in peace. And then I received this in the about another member who died. It's honoring the memory of Paul Budz, B-U-D-Z, Oakland resident who passed away and gave the gift of life to others through organ donation. On June 5th, thousands of organ and tissue transplant recipients, donor families, living donors, and dedicated volunteers participated in New Jersey's Sharing Network 5K Celebration of Life Walk in New Providence, New Jersey. Family members and friends of the late Paul Budz, who resided in Oakland, gathered to form the Paulie's Heavy Metal Hearts 5K team to honor Paul's memory and show their support for New Jersey's Sharing Network life-saving mission. Paul Budz, who tragically passed away in 2021 at the very young age of 35, saved and enhanced the lives of many others as an organ and tissue donor. What is New Jersey's Sharing Network? Currently celebrating its 35th anniversary, the network is the federally designated nonprofit organization responsible for recovering donated organs and tissues in the Garden State. Last year, 233 individuals in New Jersey gave the gift of life, and 42,112 people gave eye and tissue donations, which healed and enhanced the quality of life for those in need. And so we thank you, Paul Budz, Oakland residents, and your work through the organ and tissue transplant. Please be seated. At this time, I give my mayor's report. And all I could do when I was writing this report for tonight was thank you. Thank you to the many volunteers who helped make the town a wonderful place to live and raise a family. Oakland is a great town, and I can't say thank you enough to all our volunteers. Arts Amble in Oakland, June 10th through 12th. Thank you, Allison Pleason and Andrea Levy, for being a part of Creative Bergen. It was a wonderful weekend. Unfortunately, weather did not cooperate, so next year it will. Oakland Elks Lodge sponsored a beautiful and memorable Flag Day ceremony in Veterans Park on June 14th. It was a very beautiful Flag Day ceremony. The Oakland Annual Carnival, thank you to Public Events Committee, chaired by Chopper Russo, and you can recognize Chopper in his beautiful striped suit. For a very successful carnival, June 15th to June 18th. There is an explanation why we didn't have fireworks, and I think Chopper is going to explain. Don't worry, it's not over until it's over, and there still may be fireworks this year, so don't panic, anybody. And I do apologize to the police department because at my last meeting, I erroneously and mistakenly accused the police, which is the reason why we weren't having fireworks. I received false information, and I should not give up information, and as an attorney, I should know better. I shouldn't give information unless I confirm it. So to our Oakland Police Department, and especially Chief Sanzari, I apologize to everybody. Police, I am sorry, it was not your doing. On Saturday, June 18th, from 4 to 5 at the Carnival, Access for All Committee helped with the special hour for special persons. Thank you, thank you, thank you to this committee. You were wonderful, and it could only get better, bigger, and attract and help more in need, so thank you. I attended the Lunch and movie at the Senior Center on Thursday, June 16th, and I personally viewed our new AV system. So now when we have planning board meetings at the Senior Center, we will be heard. So, Councilman Pignatelli?
Yes,
remember
yes,
that?
absolutely.
Yes, it was excellent.
Yes.
Congratulations to the 8th grade class at Valley Middle School, graduated Friday, June 17th, and tonight the graduates of Indian Hills High School and Ramapo High School. I received many concerns about having the polling places in our local schools. There are restrictions that the town must follow. 3 very important. 1, it has to be within the district, or, if I'm correct, 1,000 feet away from the district.
That's what the statute states.
Number 2, these are all New Jersey state statutes. Number 2, must be handicap accessible. And number 3, there must be adequate parking. So after all that was going on, I sat with Richard and our borough administrator. We're figuring out, oh, what about this place? What about that place? And either it didn't have the handicap accessible, didn't have enough parking, it was too far away from one of the districts. We're working on it. I am on the legislative committee of the League of Municipalities, the New Jersey League of Municipalities. And I attended the meeting back on June 10th. And what we do is we review all the pending legislation in the New Jersey State Legislature. And one of the bills that's being proposed is schools must be closed if it's going to be a polling place. We, instead of just saying, we agree, you shouldn't have an open school when there's an election, and really there's only 2 elections that it affects us, and that's the school board election, which we hold in the spring, and primary day. Other than that, the schools have always been closed, mainly because election polling places have been within the schools. So instead of just discussing that, yes, schools definitely should be closed, we are also trying to get the statute extended and get permission. So what we have is we have a meeting, we're trying to get a meeting with the county, and we have to get permission to find a polling place that extends ourselves beyond what the statute requires us to do. So hopefully we will be changing polling places. We're trying so desperately to get it out of the schools. The other problem we have is that the legislature also passed the ruling that the police officers cannot be within 100 feet and in the polling places, because apparently it intimidates some of the voters, but they can't be there. So we're trying our best to do what we can, and we are working on it, so please. Now, today, I received an email. As I said, I thank everybody. I thank the police for what they did at the Carnival. I thank the fire department for being there. First aid was there. And most importantly, our DPW workers are incredible. And the time, what they put in and everything they did, to all our DPW workers, thank you, thank you, thank you. So today I get an email. And apparently, I'm told that it was during the Carnival, there was graffiti on Field 5, Richard? Field 5, I think.
That's right.
I think I spoke to Mike. Field 5, our base field 5. And it was derogatory. It was a very derogatory graffiti. It was disgusting. Police are investigating. It could be Oakland residents. It could be adults, it could be children, it could be non-Oakland residents. We don't know, but they are investigating. So this is the email I get today. Posts on the Oakland, New Jersey and Oakland Moms page on Facebook showed anti-LGBTQ bias for all of Oakland to see. I have no doubt that the recreation chairman will once again work to have the bias removed from the fields. However, it appears as if not much else is being done to combat this type of bias. The DPW removed it immediately, and again, the police are investigating. You, meaning me, remember this is directed to me, you recently appointed people to a committee that goes by the name of Access for All. It would appear that your committee members have been silent on these recent bias crimes. Is Access for All not what it says it is? Are the committee members only interested in fighting for access for specific groups and not for all? That was bold, capitalized. So, to the person who wrote this email to me, Access for All is not a human relations committee. That is not what it was intended to do. And if you did your research, you would understand how wonderful this is and how we should be excited that we finally have this committee going in Oakland. So I hope you're watching the person who wrote this to me. Access for All Committee serves those with special needs, developmental disabilities, and physical access needs. We do not handle social needs. It's not the social relations. That is a different kind of committee. We are trying to go and help those who really want to have access for themselves. And with that, I'm not going to say who wrote it to me. She knows who wrote it to me. She knows how I feel about this. And with that, I will entertain a motion to open to the public.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
You gotta say my name and everything.
Even though we know you and we recognize
No,
you,
I'm used to coming to these other
and
things. I gotta
the
swear.
microphone's above you, so you have to give your name and address.
Chopper Russo, 58 Minnehaha Boulevard. I am the default chairman of the Oakland Public Events. We run the townwide carnival. And before we start, I want to thank Mike Kozak, because that's his baby. All right, Captain Chaos, he's great. He's always worried, but he always pulls it off. And every year he says it's his last carnival. Along with that, Joe and Glima, Kevin Bagger, Pam, Robert and Stacy helped out. We got Maine here. Jerry's not here. Andrea, thank you. Dan, Jim Folkerts, Russell, our liaison. Did I miss anybody? No?
Bob,
I think I nailed them all. Who else?
Rob,
Yeah, I said Rob. Yeah, Goro.
Yeah.
Hiawatha.
Yeah.
Okay. I sold him the house, that's why. I want everybody to understand that this is all volunteers for Oakland public events. The town permits us to run these. The town in no way, shape, or form funds what we do. All the events that we sponsor are a result of the money that we get from the carnival, okay? So our accounts at Ernst & Young were closed on Monday, so I don't have all the numbers, but I could tell you, this is how it works. We let the games of chance go to a nonprofit, a 401c, which has been Rabari because they have the most people to work it, so they keep that. We don't get that. We share with the carnival provider, they call it a midway, that's why I'm wearing the outfit. Whatever the gross is, if it's $100,000, they remove the tax and we get 35% of the proceeds. Just to throw you some numbers, last year was a record year. We did $127,588. That was in gross ticket sales, okay? This year we were off only by 4%. Our gross numbers were $121,993. Understand,
that the tickets were still the same. Each individual ticket was $2. The yellow book of 22 was 40, and the pink book of 45 was
75.
75. I didn't sell it.
You got it.
The only thing that went up were the unlimited wristbands. We increased on Wednesday and Thursday from $25 a wristband to 30, which is a 20% increase. And then on Friday and Saturday, they went from 30 to 35, a 16.8% increase. The only way we can monitor, like, how many people came or not, the only thing that we have as a measure is the wristbands. So last year, we sold or got paid for 3,784. This year was only 3,048, okay? So I just want everybody to understand the numbers. So our net profit prior to expenses was about 41,000. Well, we pay for all the tents, all those red and white tents that all the nonprofits use, and then where you sit to eat and for the band and everything. That comes out of public events, okay? That's an expense. We're all aware of inflation, gas, blah, blah, blah. The tents went up 43%. New ownership,
How much?
43%. Well, the reason is the following. There's a limited supply of tent people, number one. Number two, with new ownership and because the result of COVID, heretofore they only charged us for the tent. They now charge us for the lighting inside and for the tables, okay? Because of a recent issue with the fire department, our tents will probably go up to about $10,000 as an expense next year, because we've been instructed that, you know, like you have the Father's Club and they're making the cheesesteaks, can't do it under one tent. So they'll have a tent to serve the food and then a tent 5 feet off of that tent to prepare the food. It's for safety reasons and fire. So we're anticipating an increase of tent usage. Again, we don't charge the 501Cs. I mean, it wouldn't be worth it. I'm on the Rotary. You know, if the Rotary had to pay for their portion of the tent, they'd make no money, okay? And a lot of it, it's not like people making zillions of dollars. It's for the goodwill. It's one of the reasons why this is one of the more preferred carnivals in our region, because it's all fellow volunteers and citizens and residents of Oakland that give their time. And the food's a lot better too. I mean, it is, to be honest. My wife went to everybody and said that I have a sugar problem, not to give me anything. First guy, she goes to the Zeppeli guy. I'm like, no, talk to him. He has the best. In addition, because of COVID and things like that, we had to increase on our VIP bathrooms, so to bring in a cleaning crew.
I might add, they were wonderful.
Yeah, they're pretty nice. But like that alone went up 39%. We used to pay about $3,600. It's now about $5,000. We've used other firms in the past. This guy, A1, he shows up. Okay, the other ones, we had one guy didn't show up for, you know, it was a problem. It was some years ago. In addition, other expenses that we'll incur is we had the bands this year, and that was about $2,500. So basically, without any charges from DPW or the police, we probably netted a profit around $27,000, which sounds whoopee, great. But what's the $27,000 go for? It pays for the Halloween parade, pumpkins and all that. It pays for, we provide the food for Toys for Tots. It also provides for the Christmas tree and menorah lighting.
And the parade.
What's that?
I
I didn't get there yet. I'm saving that for the end.
Oh, okay.
He's going in order.
You're in cahoots with her. All right. So, it was raining, it was Linda's fault, you know. So, in addition, this money, let's just call it $27,000, will also fund the Easter egg hunt, the Memorial Day parade, Fever Pitch. We participate with the environmental cleanup, a couple different movie things. Did we give
Yeah, we
money
did
to
that.
Arts Amble too? Yeah.
For the movie, yeah.
And then what's your thing, touch a truck or something?
That's for next
Yes,
year.
for the library.
And there's some other different things. And in addition, Danny and Mame are going to set up a new event for us this year. It may tie in with the Christmas tree menorah lighting, which would be,
He told me he would do it, I
what
begged
are you
him.
calling it, Dan?
The holiday parade of lights.
The holiday parade of lights, okay. So, the reason to give all this information, Joe and Gleam and I were asking different residents if they understood what we did. And we saw some things on social media, you know, because there's kind of like a backlash on fireworks, and there was some misnomer about fireworks. Understand that the fireworks themselves, the physical items that blow up in the air, run us about $15,000. But in addition to that, we have additional expenses for the police, which prior to Chief Sanzari's reign, we had Casper that brought in 40 guys for whatever reason, and that one night was over $10,000. So I think what you were saying about the police was something out of context, was from 4 or 5 years ago. In addition, there's more DPW. But here's our biggest problem. For the safety of the residents and everyone participating at the carnival, we have to have a buffer zone. So we lose all the parking up by the senior center, by the Danny D'Elia, between the tennis courts there, off the back of Field 5, and then we lose most of Valley. I think Mike Kozak went, and you know how he is, he counted. I think we lose 285 spots. So to accommodate that lost parking, we make arrangements with the different shopping centers here. But then in accordance to that, we bring in buses and bus drivers. And it's a weekend, and they get premium dollars. So don't think that fireworks are just 15 grand. It's at least 30,000. And I can't tell you how many patrons we lose because they can't park close. And it's an inconvenience. You know, the only reason why we went to these VIP trailer toilets is because I've seen so many mommies grabbing their kids when we used to have the plastic porta johns. I said, where you going? Oh, kid ain't going in here. I'll be back. They never came back. All right, so that was an investment for the future. That's our problem with our fireworks. Now, there has been some talk, you know, and we need, and I'll make a pledge now, we need more members and more help for Oakland public events. There's only a handful of us.
Councilman?
You know, we're always asking. One of the things that we're looking at for next year is possibly doing a drone show, okay? Andrew's checking into that.
A what show?
Drone.
Drones.
They used it for the Queen Elizabeth or something. I seen them with flamethrowers.
A
but I don't
drone
think
show?
they're over.
Oh,
Yeah.
awesome.
like fireworks,
Awesome.
Google it.
Awesome.
Oh, you're going to do that?
Well, we're gonna
We're
look.
working on it.
We're gonna look at the expenses. Listen, as long as you don't have to wear a helmet when you're there, then it's okay. But we know it shouldn't impact our parking. Parking's a major thing. I mean, people come schlepping from Copper Tree screaming that they had to walk so far. That's why we had to bring in the buses. So I want everybody to understand, it is not the Borough of Oakland that said no to fireworks. We made a frugally financial decision, you know, and it's our fiduciary responsibility. Remember, knock on wood, we haven't gotten rained out. We get rained out one season, we're in big trouble because the carnival is the only thing that provides for all these other events. And I think if you participate in the other events that we've been doing, our goal has been to make it better than it was before.
And they're always excellent.
You know,
Always.
and I gotta tell you, thank you to the DPW for what they did and the police and stuff. But one of the nice highlights of this, and kudos to the gentleman, Blue Sky Amusements that run the carnival, you know, that have all the equipment, that they permitted access for all. They did everything for access for all for free. And we had a meeting on Monday. We always have a meeting after the carnival, and everybody's always welcome for input. So what we're looking to do is probably start access for all 3 o'clock next year on Saturday,
Oh, nice.
and start the rides about 3:30, okay? Kudos to a lot of the 501Cs that, for all the people that came, because they were given special wristbands, they didn't charge the people. And then you guys gave us some little gift bags and things like that. I'm looking at
And
everybody.
thank you for that.
No, that was great. I mean, that's what Oakland's about. I mean, Access for All was great. They got 63 people to show up. Our over-under's 200 for next year, all right? No
I
pressure.
heard that.
No pressure. But if I can get back to the fireworks, what we'd like to see, and again, we want volunteers. Other boroughs have fireworks and the public events doesn't pay it, and the town doesn't pay it, we get patrons, we get other people to participate, be it a bank or other establishments in the borough. What we've talked about and thrown out as an idea, maybe we could do something in the fall, but again, we need to raise $30,000, because remember, Oakland Public Events, there's no charge to the borough. It's all our time that we put in, and we love it, we have a good time. And like I always tell you, it's for the youths of Oakland. All right? So if we were to do something, we'd do a fireworks night, just that event, maybe some bands, and then we'd bring in some food trucks.
Don't forget the
You know, you could call it Oakland Day or Bada Bing, Bada Boom, Oakland, whatever you want to call it. But we need some people to help to raise the money. I love fireworks. I'm a big pyrotechnic. I'm notorious up in Ringwood, they'll tell you. But look, we made the sacrifice of that 30 minutes to accommodate all these other events that we do. And I think if everybody understood, because from what I heard, everybody thought it came from the tax dollars, it doesn't. The Carnival supports all those other events. So to look the other way for the fireworks, it's 30 minutes. You want to take away from the kids for Halloween and this and that, all the things we listed, and we're going to have the holiday light parade. So, all right, but again, thank you to everybody in Oakland Public Events.
Thank you.
The 501Cs make it great. I'm going to get a couple better rides for next year, but these weren't bad. You know, one kid was all excited, a bunch of kids got sick on the ride. He goes, that's good, I gotta buy more tickets.
They were happy.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks for your time.
Well,
And
thank
all.
you. Thank you, and thank you to your committee. Anyone else wish to speak? He's a tough act to follow.
You need the suit.
Yeah.
Carrie Serenides, 41 Sioux Avenue. Just to reiterate what Chopper said, it's funny because he asked me at the end of the night, how did we do? I said, we did really well. We got about 63 people, and he came around the booth again, and he said, next year we're aiming for 100. And then he came around the booth again later on, he's like, next year we're aiming for 200. I'm like, stop, no more, we're gonna get higher. But as most of you know, on Saturday, Access for All opened the Carnival an hour early from 4 to 5 p.m. for anyone who's with special needs to take part in the Carnival. It was a big asking for our little town of Oakland, but they pitched in and helped any way they could. From the 501Cs that opened early and offered free food and drinks for the hour, to the police officers that were there an hour early to help out, and pretty much everyone in between. I wanted to give a big thank you to all the committees and people that made this day possible. A special thank you to the Public Events Committee and Chopper Russo for helping us, supporting us, and working with us to pull this off so quickly and efficiently. Thank you to the mayor for being our sounding board, for helping us work through things out, and always supporting Access for All. Thank you, Councilman McCann, if you can hear me. Our new Access for All liaison. You jumped in to help us on Saturday, and we are grateful for that. Everyone pitched in to make this event successful, and we are looking forward to the next Access for All event. So thank you.
And no, we thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank
Great
you.
job.
Anyone else?
Hi, Andrea Levy, 780 Ramapo Valley Road, here in Oakland. I just wanted to thank everybody for the Arts Amble. It was quite an experience, and as Linda said, Mayor Schwager said earlier, weather kind of dampened, and Mr. Kamala, you were there as well. Weather was not great, but we still had a constant flow of people over the 3 days that got to enjoy the arts and performances of fellow Oakland residents. And that is the beauty of the Amble, is that it brings everybody together. I will say on a dime, because if we spent a dime, I'd be surprised. So it's a shoestring event. But my co-producer, Allie Fleeson, the Green Team, the DPW, Mayor and Council, Public Events, Who was it? Oh, library, we have to thank. Peter Havel, thank you so much. Everybody got together to pull this together and make it a really, really wonderful event. So I just wanted to make sure everybody knew that we are very, very thankful, and we hope we can do it again next
Is it
year.
the same weekend every year?
It looks like it's the same weekend every year. Not my choice. It's a Bergen County doing, but yeah, it does look like it's the same,
we'll see you
same
next
weekend.
year.
So we'll see you next year. Thank you again.
Thank you. Anyone else? If not,
Motion to close? Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
We have minutes from the June 8th, 2022 meeting. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved? Second.
Will there be any discussion? If none, roll call.
Councilman Kamala?
Yes.
Councilman McCann?
Yes.
Councilman Pignatelli?
Yes.
Councilman Sasinski?
Yes.
Councilman Talamini?
Yes.
We have minutes from the June 8th, 2022 executive session. If you have any questions at all, any additions or changes, it must be done during executive session. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved? Second.
Will there be any additions, corrections? If none, roll call.
Councilman Kamala?
Yes.
Councilman McCann?
Stay.
Councilman Pignatelli?
Yes.
Councilman Sasinski?
Yes.
Councilman Talamini?
Yes.
We have raffle license RL 1427 for the Sports Association of Oakland to hold an off-premise 50/50 raffle from August 15, 2022 to October 22nd, 2022 at 24 Lola Drive in Oakland. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved? Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. So, thank you for doing that. And I'm going to go down to the Environmental Commission. That's a mayoral appointment. I was asked by the Environmental Commission to request that alternate one member Karen Lanza be moved to the vacant regular commissioner slot for a term expiring December 31st, 2022. And that leaves a vacancy in the alternate. So if anybody's interested in going on to the Environmental Commission, please let us know, anyone on the council or myself. Zoning Board. Now, as you know, we have not made any appointments to the Zoning Board for many, many reasons. There was investigation, there was some issues, and the Zoning Board is a council appointment. And right now, there have been 3 holdovers: Richard LaPrey, Cesar Arredondo, and Vivian King. In addition to that, we've had 2 vacancies during this year. It is a council appointment. I do not vote. It's past the 30 days, so I can't even make the motion. It'll be made by, I think, Councilman Pignatelli, who is the land use councilman. There were 6, we received, in addition to the 3 holdovers, Rick LaPrey, Cesar Arredondo, and Vivian King, whose terms expired, there were 6 additional citizen leadership forms, which can be found on the website if anybody ever wants to join a commission. They are Michael Elston, Joseph Kurtz, Richard Hetherington, Joanne Ashkenazi, Carrie Serenadis, and Jeffrey Pereira. And plus the 3 who are already on. And at this point, I leave it up to you, Councilman.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm going to read the names of the 5 people that are going to be appointed, or a recommendation to be appointed, and there will be 1 vacant spot that we will not fill at this time. So the 5 names are Rich Hetherington, 4-year appointment. Sherry Campanelli, a 4-year appointment, should be moved up from being an alternate. 3rd one is Mike Elston, who will fill a vacant unexpired term till 12/31/23. Joe Kearns is going to be alternate 1, and Jeff Pereira is going to be alternate 2. I make those recommendations. So moved. Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Councilman Kamala?
Yes.
Councilman McCann?
Yes.
Councilman Pignatelli.
Yes.
Councilman Stasinski.
Yes.
Councilman Talamini.
Yes.
So, you all decided to vote, and so we have a vacancy, and we have a vacancy. With that, I'll move on to resolutions. If you wish any pulled out, actually, just so you know, planning board is a mayoral appointment. I do not get a vote on the zoning board, just on the planning board. We have resolutions. And the resolutions have been discussed ahead of time. And we are, tonight, if you wish any pulled out, let me know. Otherwise, it'll be done as a consent agenda. 22-196 is amend resolution liquor license renewal. We're amending 22-182. And 197 is to amend resolution 22-183 liquor license renewals. We already did all the liquor license renewals. The reason why we have to amend it is because our borough received a letter from the director from the State Alcoholic Beverage Control Commission that the verbiage in our resolution, which has been used for many, many years without a problem, is insufficient for approval. So we had to redo the renewals. We're doing exactly the same thing, but we're removing the following sentence. Pending receipt of all required paperwork from the New Jersey Division of Taxation. So that is resolution 196 and 197. And I assume you want those pulled out, Pat, since you are from the night?
197, right? It would be, that's the separate one.
Right, because that is.
The other ones are not, it's not included in the first one.
Right, because 197 is the Knights of Columbus
Knights of
and the
Columbus, correct.
Bergen region.
Yes.
Thank you. So those will be pulled out separately. 22-198 is to authorize agreement with the Northwest Bergen County Utilities Authority for sewer treatment plant decommissioning project, which is why we're working on Route 202. It's not new sewers, it's decommissioning the 3 sewer service areas. 22-199 is resolution amending borough check signatories, and that's because we have a new borough clerk, congratulations. And we had to sign. 22-200 is authorize the sale of property for block 5005, lot 5. A bid was submitted by Ryan Howell of 39 Massasoit Trail in the amount of $240,000, in which a deposit was made in the amount of $24,000. 22-201 is the sale of property block 1702, lot 20. A bid was submitted by Jennifer McCurdy of 19 Valley View Avenue in the amount of $112,500, in which a deposit was made in the amount of $8,000. And these are borough-owned properties that went up for bid. Now we're up to resolution 22-202. Is to authorize the sale of property for block 1702, lot 21. Was submitted by Jennifer McCurdy, 19 Valley View Avenue, $120,000, and it is $8,000 deposit. 22-203 is award contract for engineering services for the 2022 road program. Bids were submitted, and Boswell Engineering submitted the proposal dated June 3rd, 2022, for fee not to exceed $135,000. Our CFO has certified funds are available. 22-204, authorized shared service agreement for use of fuel facility, and that's with Franklin Lakes, one of our shared services. 22-205 is to authorize discretionary New Jersey Department of Transportation Local Aid Infrastructure Fund grant application for superstructure replacement of Patriots Way Bridge. It's a grant application. We're always trying to get money to help us, but we are doing it regardless. 22-206 is authorized FY Bergen County Municipal Alliance grant. 22-207 is to refund the Board of Health permit fee to a Michael Rayer, 22 Aspen Way, for $350. 22208 is to authorize a lien for 255 Ramapo Valley Road. That is because the borough was compelled to provide labor and expend significant costs totaling $1,190.88 in order to clean up the property at 255 Ramapo Valley Road. There are properties, if they're in such dire disrepair and the residents are not doing it, and we give them sufficient notice, we go in and we have the DPW clean up the property, and then a lien can be put on the property. 22209 is award bid for the 2022 road resurfacing program, and 9 bids were received. D&L Paving Contractors at 675 Franklin Avenue in Nutley, New Jersey was the lowest responsive and responsible bid with a total price of $1,488,990.44, and our CFO has certified that the funds are available. Other than Resolution 197, are there any you wish to pull out? All right, other than Resolution 197, is there a motion?
So moved.
Second? Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Kamala.
Yes.
Councilman McCann. Councilman McCann.
Technical difficulty.
Councilman Pignatelli.
Yes.
Councilman Sasinski.
Yes.
Councilman Talamini.
Yes.
All right, we go back to amend Resolution 22183, liquor license removals. This is Resolution 22197. Again, we had to remove that verbiage that was by the state. And this is for a license renewal of liquor license for the Knights of Columbus 5846 and American Legion Post 369. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Kamala.
Yes.
Councilman McCann. Councilman McCann.
Yes.
Councilman Pignatelli.
Abstain?
Councilman Sasinski.
Yes.
Councilman Talamini.
Yes.
Final adoption of the ordinance 22 Code 888, which is an ordinance amending and supplementing Chapter 7 entitled Traffic Section 7-24 entitled Stop Intersections of the Code of the Borough of Oakland. This is the River Road stop sign, correct?
Correct, yes.
And therefore, it is now time to open to the public for any comments. Motion to open.
So moved.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Would anyone wish to speak on, if you know River Road, it's when you come from West Oakland Avenue to down River Road, and then it sort of makes a little L, X, what would you call that? S? Z?
Like a Z.
Dog, yeah, dog.
Whatever, a stop sign. Would anyone wish to speak? Only if you could explain what I was trying to explain.
Hi, how are you? Philomena LaForgia, 54 Saratoga,
Yes.
Oakland, New Jersey. Carrie spoke for us on behalf of Access.
This is only for this ordinance.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. Save it, don't go
Oh, okay,
away.
yeah, okay.
No, this is the stop sign at
Just
River
that
Road.
one, okay.
It's just the stop sign, not
Yes.
paving?
No, and just stop sign at River Road.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
No one, okay. Motion closed.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to adopt.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Kamala.
Yes.
Councilman McCann.
Yes.
Councilman Pignatelli.
Yes.
Councilman Sasinski.
Yes.
Councilman Talamini.
Yes.
Okay. You're getting a stop sign. Work session, this is the big one.
The big one.
And I don't mean that, I mean it financially, the garbage disposal bid.
Yes. So our current 5-year contract for garbage disposal, I say disposal as distinct from garbage collection, but for disposal, expires at the end of the year. This is a service that we bid collectively with the towns of Wyckoff and Franklin Lakes as a shared co-op, with Wyckoff being the lead agency. so they handle the putting out the bid. So bids were taken recently for a successor 5-year agreement covering 23 through 2027. 3 bids were received. Three. For disposal, we received 3 bids. And the lowest price per ton was offered by Gata Contracting, which is our current disposal company, at a price of $89 per ton in the first year, going up from there. That's a rather significant increase compared to what we've been paying under the current contract and prior contracts, which is about $67 per ton. But this is the state of the industry right now. Talking with people, they were actually saying that that's a pretty good rate compared to what other towns are renewing at. And just for comparison, the other bidders' prices were $101 per ton and $110 per ton. So I think the bid was successful from the viewpoint of where the market is today, but it is a rather significant increase that we're going to have to factor in when we plan next year's budget. Using the tonnage figures from 2021 and doing the math, that would result in about an extra $110,000 or so in disposal costs. But again, it seems that inflation pressures have hit this industry as they have every other. So that's what we're faced with. We are looking to award a 5-year contract based on the fact that the increases moderate in the out years of the deal. Wyckoff will be awarding their 5-year contract at their upcoming council meeting, and then we would follow suit at our meeting in July. All right, so any questions on that at this point?
Does it affect recycling?
No, this is just for garbage collection, or actually garbage disposal, not disposal of recyclables.
So, and Mr. Coons, so this is for disposal. So the people who do the collection are separate.
Correct.
So the people who do the collection take the garbage to the people who do the disposal.
Correct.
And that is where?
Gata's facility is in Patterson.
So the garbage isn't disposed there in a landfill?
No, it goes to their transfer station in Patterson.
Oh, it's a transfer station, okay, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? No? Okay.
We're stuck.
We're stuck. Again, that's kind of the state of the market at the moment.
I wanted to know, the Northwest Mayors Group, every time one of these bids comes up, we always say we're going to do it as a group and write letters to our legislators, we write letters to the governor, we write letters to everybody saying it's really, we don't have much choices and we're getting nowhere.
Right. So kind of following on the heels of that is some more great budget news for next year as it concerns insurance, specifically not health insurance, which is usually the cost driver, but in this case, property and casualty and workers' comp claims, or insurance premiums and assessments, which are also trending higher for a number of reasons, from COVID workers' comp claims, which have hit the funds rather hard. There's been a recent shift in disability claim costs from the pension system to the workers' compensation system. Other things like weather-related property claims and cyber attacks have all put a lot of pressure on this particular market. What the insurance professionals tell us, including some who were even in on the creation of the joint insurance funds 40 years ago or so in the mid-'80s, that this is the most challenging insurance environment since then. So what they're asking to do, since next year is not looking to shape up that great at the moment, is to ask the legislature to pass a temporary relief measure on the levy cap and the appropriations cap to kind of account for these higher than normal increases. So that's the recommendation from the JIF. I just thought I'd bring that before you. If that's something you'd like to pursue, they did provide a model resolution and we could adopt that in July as well.
Any comment from anybody?
Yeah, I just, I mean, it's just, you know, that's nice that if we would be able to do that, to put that outside the cap and make us able to to manage the budget a little more, but I think more and more we're gonna see that it's just hard to stay at 2% with this with the inflation and people's salaries wanting to go up. I mean, you know, if you're giving somebody a 4% raise and you can only raise the budget by 2%, it's difficult. I think the state's going to have to look into maybe increasing what we can increase the budget by, because it's going to be difficult trying to make a budget at 2%, and with, I mean, you see, you know, things going up to 36%, and we're only allowed to increase the budget by 2%. It's going to be hard. Any kind of relief that we could get, I guess, would be helpful.
And on that point as well, I know the league's been sending out some additional advisories. Months ago, when it was first introduced, we had supported legislation that would phase in increases to the energy receipts tax, which is a form of, well, what the state likes to call state aid. We like to call revenue replacement funding, but we'll call it state aid. And this was something that was cut in several years during the Great Recession. So you're looking back in 2010, 2011, 2012. We lost probably $400,000 if memory serves, and that's every year. That number went down, it has stayed down. This is money that is rightfully due to municipalities that was diverted. And the legislature has a big call out for more towns to kind of voice their support for this measure, which would restore this funding to municipalities. And that's something that would benefit us, you know, greatly in the coming years in trying to help mitigate some of these inflationary effects.
So once again, the League Legislative Committee supporting this, and we sent that back to the legislature, that the money for the taxes from the utilities come back to us, which is where it should go. And secondly, I signed the letter.
Oh, great.
They asked
Great.
every mayor to sign. In addition to everything else, the Bergen County League signed a letter, Northwest Bayers Group signed a letter. We support this. In addition, I signed, every mayor was asked to sign the letter. And
I'd just like to say that the state in doing that, they just money grabbed. They grabbed our money, they kept it in the state, we got
Right.
nothing. And now the state has billions in surplus. So there's really no reason why they shouldn't return that money
It's our
to
money.
the municipality. It is our money, right?
Actually, I just want to build upon, you kind of stole my thunder now.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. But I mean, Mr. Coons, you made it pretty clear in there that one of the drivers was the COVID workman's comp claims throughout the state, correct?
Yeah.
And obviously, as Councilman Pignatelli stated, state's sitting on billions of dollars of COVID relief, but yet they're going to put the shoulder the burden on this on the local municipality instead of the state paying for this. I mean, it's absurd if they got the money.
That's why we have to get in touch with our legislators.
$7 or $8 billion in surplus.
All right.
Disagree.
The electric vehicle ordinance.
Yeah, so the planning board considered this at the mayor and council's request, and they responded with one small change regarding how much we would charge if we had our own electric vehicle charging station, which, as you know, we have several grant requests in for right now. Otherwise, I believe that they found the ordinance to be in conformance with the master plan and recommend its adoption. Not that we have much choice, right? It's a statewide ordinance, it's in effect. There are just a couple of little things there that we can tweak on our own. So what we would do is prepare this for introduction also on July 20th. It would go back before the planning board for the official review that you have to do on land use ordinances, and then probably be able to be adopted at the August meeting. Regarding fees for our own, what we're recommending is right now just leave that section out. How much we would charge is really unknown. It's going to depend on a variety of factors, including what type of charger that we put in there. That's something that we can come back and address at a later point in time if we're successful with the grant.
I hope you all read the letter from the planning board attorney, Joe Russo, and the comments to the ordinance. The legislature is also sponsoring a pending bill that if you, as you all know, if you park in a handicapped spot, you could get a ticket if you don't have a handicap placard. Well, the same analogy goes with if you park in a charging station, parking space, and are not using it for charging, that'll also be ticketable, no, that's a word, right? Ticketable? Anyway, so
Violation.
please read this, right, thank you, yes,
So,
read this.
just to, again, I don't, I guess we're thinking that electric cars are the way of the future, but I mean, I drive past the Wendy's in Compton Lakes, is that Compton Lakes, Plains, Lakes, right? Yeah. And they have, in that parking, it's a shopping center, the Lidl is there. They have, I think it's 6 electric vehicle charging, and I pass there every morning, and in the morning there's nobody, there's hardly anybody in the lot, you know. But then
You didn't park there?
no, I didn't park there. But then a couple times during the day, I'll drive by, and I've never seen a vehicle parked in those spots. So I don't know, you know, what you know, I mean, if you know, I don't. To me, the electric cars are, you're just pushing the use of the fuel someplace else, because you need, you know, you burn fuel to make electricity. You know, to make these batteries, you got to dig the lithium from the ground. So I don't know that these are the wave of the future, and I guess if we get the money and it's free, but I see taking spots for no reason, because I mean really it's 6 spots that I've never seen a car in.
Well, if I may, Councilman.
Right.
Some people charge their vehicles at home.
Sure.
In the morning, when you're driving past, it's probably rush hour, they don't have time to stop to charge the vehicle.
Sure.
So they may go at off hours when you're not going
But
there.
I'm during the day too. I'm seeing, you know, since we talked about it, I've been looking now, and when I do see, I don't think I've seen a car in a charging spot. I don't know.
Well, if you want to talk to someone, I hope he doesn't mind, I hope, Mr. Heyman, you don't mind. Lee Heyman on the Environmental Commission has an electric car.
Yes,
He
talks about that at
raves
the
about
planning
it.
board.
He raves about it. Saves a lot of money every year. And he charges it at his own house.
Sure.
I believe it costs about $800 to install the mechanism that you
I'm
need.
making a lot of money putting charges. Believe me, it's great for my business. But
So they're probably, some of them are charging it at home, some of them charge it at work. They park the car, go into
Right.
work and leave it, you know,
Yeah.
charging all day long, or how many hours they need to charge.
Right.
So it may not be advantageous for them to charge it at a Wendy's.
Sure.
But they charge it at work or charge it at home.
okay.
Yeah, that's what I chime in. I mean, obviously, this has been really been pushed by the green team, and obviously, we're looking at federal and state dollars to do it. So, I mean, might as well bring the money back into Oakland, set up one station, and be done with it. I mean,
And how
instead of
many-
giving it to somebody else.
That's fine. I'm just telling you.
Yeah.
I don't see cars in the spots. I don't, you know, I don't.
And aren't they required to do it in the developments?
They are.
15%.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a certain percentage based on capacity and lot size and like.
Mayor, at the planning board meeting last year, if you recall, they're putting that new building up across the firehouse, and it's required that they had to put in a charging station by state law.
Yes, and in the development that is coming to the planning board in July.
15%.
Okay, now we have resolution, this was a resolution back in 2021, in July. 21-238 is the appointment of municipal representatives to the Bergen Community Development Regional Committee. And at the time, it was John Bialy, councilman, and Eric Kamala was the alternate, and Richard was
Your designee.
right. So,
I'd like to,
So basically, we put this on the agenda because this is a resolution that you adopt mid-year to coincide with the CDBG fiscal year. Council needs to decide who they want their representatives to
you want
be.
to do it?
yeah, I'd like to recommend that Councilman Kamala be moved up from alternate to,
Or I thought you wanted it as
First.
president.
I'm sorry?
I thought you wanted it as the council president. No?
No,
Oh.
no, I just like to recommend that Councilman Kamala. He went to the last meeting, plus he was on it last year. And also, second would be Councilman John McCann.
Yeah, but he's been one meeting at the council. Don't you think this would be somebody who's been there longer?
Well, everybody else has quite a few appointments, quite a few committees that they report to. I just thought it would be easier for.
I'll talk to him next week. I'm not comfortable. He's not even made one meeting so far.
Well, he just got
We have
appointed.
councilmen who've been sitting here for a long time. I am meeting with him on Monday.
Okay.
I will talk to him.
Okay.
So I have a question, point of order. So what happened? Is Mr. McCann on it or not?
It's my appointment, I'm told.
No, there's 2 council appointments that the council decides, and then Mayor, you decide the staff appointments. And this would just be in order to prepare the resolution for the next council.
All right, if you want to appoint him, I have no choice then. Go ahead, vote.
Make a motion.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Kamala.
Yes.
Councilman McCann.
See
Abstain.
what I mean?
Councilman Pignatelli.
Yes.
Councilman Zazinski.
Yes.
Councilman Talamini.
Yes.
All right, new business.
Yes, Mayor, I've got a piece of new business.
Well, I do first. I just want to tell everybody, we had a demonstration last week on electric scooters. It was a very interesting demonstration, and Mr. Kunz, I think you were on one of those scooters in the parking lot. I don't know how
You didn't
far.
take video, did you?
No.
Okay, good.
And we had a policeman, I did not go on. And we had a policeman go on, and I don't think it's going to, we're doing a lot of research on it, and we're getting some really negative information about the electric scooters, but we're still open-minded, and just want to let everybody know. Yes, you have something?
Yes, Mayor, thank you. Obviously, you know, we've been working very hard on this downtown. We've challenged the planning board a couple meetings ago to come back with architectural standards. Streetscapes are being worked on. We hired our planner to do a study for the rehabilitation of downtown as well. What I'd like to do is throw it out there for a special meeting for next week being the 29th, to have our planner do the public meeting with the presentation for his findings so that we can move that down to the planning board for their input.
We don't have a meeting the 29th. I
I'm
don't know
asking
if
for a special
available.
meeting.
Yeah, it would have to be a special meeting.
I'd like to make a motion for a special meeting on the 29th.
Second.
But it's, I'd like to hear from the planning board. Since
No.
it's been a planning board, you're talking about streetscape with the planning board.
No, Mayor, this is the report that this governing body asked the planner to put together for the downtown rehabilitation.
Yeah, it's not streetscape.
It's not streetscape. This is strictly for the presentation that this council paid for, to share his findings with the governing body, so that then we can make a determination to send it down to planning.
Well,
board.
I think out of courtesy, it would have been nice if you asked me if my availability for next week.
RML is next week too.
Well, we're
Next
running,
week.
but the problem is we're running into problems with the planner on a day that we're having council meetings. So, I mean, we gotta get this, we'd like to move this so that we can get this,
Yes,
it'll be
RML
about a
has
half hour.
a big board meeting next Wednesday night
Yeah, we do.
at 7 o'clock.
Yeah, we have to.
It's a half hour presentation.
We have to be there.
I'm not available. I've been invited to the meeting. I already committed. So you'll have to have the meeting without me? That's what you want to do.
Thank you.
Well,
Old business.
I'm sorry, we just-
a motion and a second out there, so we need to take a vote.
All right, roll call. To have a special meeting, even though I just found out about it right now, the date, I didn't have the courtesy of being told the date. There is a big RML meeting I am committed to. I was asked to speak there. I've already committed that I'm going, and I cannot be here. So roll call.
Councilman Kamala.
Yes.
Councilman McCann.
We can't.
Yes.
Councilman Pignatelli.
Yes.
Councilman Zazinski.
Yes.
Councilman Talamini.
Yes.
So there is a special meeting next Wednesday night. I will have to be talking to the planner. I go to all the planning board meetings with the planner. I go to the meetings ahead of the planning board meetings with the planner. But unfortunately, I did not know that this council decided behind my back to have a special meeting next Wednesday night. And I'm already committed to next Wednesday night. I've committed to go to the RML board meeting, and so I will not be at the special meeting. Okay, old business. Council committee reports. Councilman Kamala.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. First, I want to just take a moment and obviously commend the Green Team on the fine job you did with the Arts Amble and the hard work that they put into it. It's interesting, something came out of that meeting that the Green Team is requesting, they're requesting an Arts and Oakland committee that came out of this. So right now what we're doing is myself, members of the Green Team will be meeting with the Borough Administrator, and the Mayor is also copied on it for a meeting to discuss how we can move this thing along. Also, for the Rec Commission report, I'm happy to report that the pickleball course will be open Friday, 2 courts. I believe tennis court 6 is being converted. As long as they can line the course, weather permitting, they'll be open Friday for 2 pickleball courts. Also for Rec Camp, the numbers are back up to pre-COVID, and all the events are going on. So Rec Camp for the summer is basically back to normal after the last couple of years. So that's a good story right there. For the police department, we had a meeting last Monday, myself, the mayor, Councilman McCann, with the police chief. One of the good things we discussed was creating a Class 3 police officer that can be possibly stationed at the schools or where needed. So this is going to be put on the work session for the next council meeting of July for discussion with the council. So we get some input and see if that's the direction we want to go. And that's all I have for now, Mayor. Thank you.
Councilman?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Environmental Commission. We met last week. I gave a report on the grants regarding the bridge at the reserve, grants for Bush Plaza and the EV charging station. As we commented about the electric charging station, 15% of the parking spaces for all new developments must be reserved for electric vehicles. Chairman Lee Hainan passed around an article in ANJEC regarding creating an open space plan. We also looked at the Colorado open space plan that he distributed. Looking to create an open space element in the master plan and using the natural resource inventory as an aid. We also discussed the band shell at the park, which hopefully will be ready by late fall or early winter. We were awarded, I believe, $123,000 for the band shell. They also commented that signs need to be posted at the Great Oak Park to limit vehicular traffic. Evidently, some places are tearing up the road with vehicular traffic. With the GIS plan for the parks, Pumpkin Lakes has a QR code on ballards which show the people what the different parks are in the town. They also discussed suggestion to have an expansion bridge at Great Oak Park, which will allow us to go from Great Oak Park to across the river. We also took a field trip to the Mccoy Road subdivision. Lee Hainan, myself, and Mr. Maynor went there Saturday. Beautiful area. Unfortunately, a lot of the trees are going to be cut down. There is I believe, a 50-foot buffer that they can't touch, but it was nice to see the area so that when we review it at the planning board, we'll be able to be familiar with it. Planning board. Planning board said that they'll be discussing the finale track possibly in July. Let me see. There was an update on PFOS, and the planning board. Well, this is for the Environmental Commission, but the planning board also is making recommendations regarding the electric charging station, which we discussed before. The Board of Health was on 6/22/22. If you remember, we had a discussion concerning the temporary certificate of occupancy. The Board of Health thought that these were given out upon request, but yet that's not true, only in very limited situations. And the board attorney, along with the borough attorney and Mr. Coons and the construction official, met to make recommendations for an ordinance regarding the granting of temporary certificate of occupancies. They also discussed food vendors at certain functions, that they come in too late, and sometimes they're not permitted to operate regarding food at a particular event. They require 1 week notice prior to the event. They also suspended their meeting in July and August for the summer. The senior citizens are having their annual barbecue tomorrow for all paid members. Hopefully the weather will be nice. And that's it, Mayor. Thank you.
When was the Board of Health meeting?
Board of Health was 6/22/22.
Not today?
No, 21, I'm sorry. 21, I had 21/22. Yes, 21/22.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Councilman Tomlin?
Yes, I just want to say congratulations to all of our graduates, whether 8th grade, kindergarten, high school, college. I had my son graduated 8th grade. We're very proud of him, and it's just a great time. Just congratulations. And then to the public events, thank you to the public events and our members, and for everything that they do. It's as Chopper mentioned, it's a skeleton crew. They do a lot. We get a lot done. We always need more members. Many hands makes light work, and I just want to, Mame is here, so people get to know Mame. We've thanked her many times for the Memorial Day parade, but we wouldn't have had one this year if it wasn't for Mame, and Mame put us on the right track. She said, we're supposed to have a Memorial Day parade, and she made us do what we were supposed to do. It would have been easy for us to just say we'll do it next year, but Mame said, nope, we're doing it this year, and we did it, and it was very successful. And but thank you, Mame, and thank you for all you do. And
Hard worker.
yes. Thank you again for everyone who came to attend the parade. My kids loved the carnival. My kids loved the carnival. I spoke to 3 different baseball teams about the carnival. They all loved the carnival, and they had a great time. And it's something that they look forward to every year. And we just gotta, like Chopper always says, just make every event better. And that's what it's all about, making things better for Oakland. And thank you again to the volunteers. That's it, Mayor.
Councilman?
Thank you, Mayor. Water and sewer updates. Decommissioning of the 3 sanitary sewer treatment plants. Test pits were dug at the railroad crossing on Ramapo Valley Road this week, and the results are favorable. Boswell has received a work schedule from the contractor, and they are reviewing. Piping work will begin within the next couple of weeks on Ramapo Valley Road or Franklin Avenue. Iroquois pump station upgrades. Boswell has received a work schedule, and the contractor is expected to begin work at the site next week. The PFAS compounds treatment at the 3 production wells. The NJDEP is reviewing our submission for a permit. Boswell has answered minor comments, and full comments are expected by the end of this month. The backup generator at the Soons Field pumping station. The project has been advertised for competitive bids, and they are expected to be received July 8th. Library updates. Library summer reading programs for adults, young adults, and children kicks off on June 28th and runs through August 12th. There are separate programs for each group, but everyone will use Read Squared to track their reading and earn prizes over the course of the summer. The app is free and can be downloaded on smartphones, tablets, and PCs. There are also weekly prizes for adults drawn at random, as well as prizes awarded at some of the programs they are hosting. Some of the highlights this summer include Bill Urbolino will be at the library this Friday at 6:30 on the stage. Registration is full, but you can call the library, see if there was any cancellations. Also, the Coots will be playing live in concert at 6:30 on July 12th. They'll be hosting a history of the Declaration of Independence at 6:30 on July 19th. A history of dance concert at 7 on July 21st. And also they'll be hosting a board game tournament where you can sign up to participate in one of 3 board games of Scrabble, Monopoly, and Risk at 2 p.m. on August 10th. The winner of each gets a $25 Amazon gift card. These are just some of the programs, so check with the website for all programs.
Mayor, before we move on, I'm sorry, did you? Before we move on, you mentioned the PFOS, and I know you know we had an email, Mayor, concerning residents' concern about the new updated information on PFOS.
From the federal government.
Yeah, and I know our administrator answered the person, but I think the person asked that the website be updated with the more recent information from the EPA. Is that, do we have anything yet?
We're working on it, Pat. It'll be updated shortly.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Councilman McCann.
Oh, what about, oh, sorry, Councilman McCann? Oh, my God.
Is it muted on this side?
No.
All right.
Yes?
Yes. At this time, we could always come back. At this time, motion to open to the public.
So moved.
Second.
Oh, I'm sorry, I was on mute. I didn't realize I was on mute, I'm sorry about that.
Do you have a council report?
Motion for in-person only?
I do, my apologies. I want to thank the Access for All Committee. From what I understand, this was their first event. A number of people have spoken about it tonight. I attended it. I believe they had maybe over 50 people attending for the community that they are serving, and it was very moving. They had, by all accounts, the kids and their family had a great time. And I thought the committee did a very good job of greeting people and guiding them through the carnival. And on that note, also congratulations to the committee who put the carnival together. It was very well done. On the floodplain commission, the chairman wanted me to pass on a few things to the council. And he wanted to, let me just pull that up, hold on a second. He wants to thank the governing body for its approval for the contract bid qualifications for the river restoration project. Pending the DCA approval, they plan on going out to bid on that contract. The commission is also looking for a member to fill the commission to fill out on the commission. Anyone interested can get a leadership form from the borough clerk. Please have a short resume as well when you ask for that form. The commission will not be meeting in July and August. The next meeting will be September 12th at 7:30 p.m. at the Senior Center. If you have any questions, feel free to call. You can call me or you can call Mr. Levy directly. Finally, we met, as noted, the Public Safety Commission the Public Safety Committee meeting was attended on Monday, Eric. I know that you were searching for the day. It was a great meeting. I got to meet the chief of police for the first time. I think our town is in very good hands. The candidate that has been discussed is an outstanding candidate. I'm sure she's going to do well, Mr. Council President, and the physical portion, and do very well at the academy. One final note, it was mentioned a moment ago by the mayor that I haven't attended any meetings, and that's just not accurate.
No, I said one
For the
meeting.
record- No, I heard what you said.
One
I'm
meeting.
just going to finish what I was going to say. Thank you. There's been 3 meetings since I've been appointed to the council. The first one where I was appointed to the council and attended. A second meeting, I was not attending the working session, but I was 15 minutes late for the public session of that meeting and attended that meeting. And this is the 3rd meeting we've had, and I am in attendance in this meeting. Just want to be accurate in terms of what we're saying.
I apologize. When I make a mistake, I apologize. Sorry, Councilman.
No, not a problem. And finally, although I'm new to the Oakland Council, as noted before, I have served 9 years in another council in Cresco, my prior community, before moving to the fabulous town of Oakland. And also note that I serve as a municipal borough attorney in another Bergen County town. So I don't think there's any questions with regard to my qualifications for the nomination put by the council president. Thank you for that, Pat.
Welcome.
That's all, and that's my final, that's all my report.
Okay, thank you. Motion open to the public.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Anyone wish to speak? Now you can speak on anything.
Hi, Jody Gaffredo, 44 Sioux Avenue. The graffiti incident, as the chairperson for
Yes.
Access for All, this is the first time I'm hearing about this incident. I'm not on Facebook every day, every moment, so I don't know. I know. I catch up on the weekend, so I'll catch up on that on Saturday. It's horrible. Sounds awful. To my knowledge, not one person was denied access to the carnival. So I'm not sure how this is relating to one another. And maybe you, since you have the most knowledge of this incident, you can explain that to the public, how Access for All has nothing to do with this graffiti.
I thought I did. I mean,
Not
you said
clearly.
it was just this one email, and I read it so that people know that one had nothing to do with the other.
Thank you.
Philomena Forgia, 54 Saratoga.
Now you can speak.
I do want to follow up with what my peers at All Access, just said. It's unfortunately that we've been tethered to an unfortunate situation or event. We do not want to be part or tethered in any way in that event. And as Jody said, everybody was more than welcome to come, and we provided a safe space for everybody. To piggyback on that, I also wanted to ask, since we are a new committee and we do have, we've been gaining stuff to give out and so forth, is there any kind of, is there any
Financing.
No, not finance. I'm not asking for that, actually. I'm asking for, is there storage or something that we can keep anything that we have, all of us have lots of stuff at home. And is there a storage bin or something that we
If it's
can?
borough materials, it would be better to be stored at a borough facility, obviously.
And so that we feel that way. We feel like
Sure.
they're not ours. We're just the keepers of. And is there something that maybe the committees?
We can go over exactly what it is and kind of find a spot. So if you just, call me tomorrow or send me an email, we can work that out.
Okay, that'd be great. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And we want money.
I know.
Never turn that down.
Deb Mutterer, 101 Walnut Street. Walnut Street is supposed to be paved this year, correct?
And a section of it, I think.
The lower section.
Not lower.
No,
Upper.
from Laurel to, from Walnut, from Laurel to Page.
Walnut, she's saying Walnut.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, to
From
the
Laurel
first street
up
to Laurel to
down
Page.
at the bottom, correct?
Yep.
Okay. I also have another question. On the zoning board, how do you come up with who becomes on the zoning board? Who makes that decision?
we're not supposed to have a debate, but.
No, I'm not having a debate. I'm
Right.
just curious, who makes up that decision?
The council,
All the council.
they vote,
And there's a spot open?
yes.
Okay, why are we not filling it? And why are we not filling it? There's one woman that applied for it. Why can't she have it?
2 women.
Oh, 2 women. Why can't?
It's up to the council. I have no vote on the zoning board.
So it could be all men
Planning.
and they don't believe in women?
I can vote, I appoint planning board, that's state statute.
Right, thank you.
Anyone else? Motion to close?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Bills to be paid.
Bills to be paid, $544,797.32. So moved.
Second.
As long as you read the bills list, you can vote. Roll call.
Councilman Kamala.
Yes.
Councilman McCann. Councilman
I'm sorry,
McCann.
yes.
Councilman Pignatelli.
Yes.
Councilman Jasinski.
Yes.
Councilman Talamini.
Yes.
Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
The next meeting of the regular meeting is on July 20th, right here in council chambers at 7 o'clock. Apparently, there is a special meeting next week.